Hello everybody, welcome to this wonderful reading. I'm so Yaks, welcome. In this reading I'm going to provide you will be for February the 16th to the 22nd of 2025. This reading is going to provide about how everything is and, the way of how it seems to be. And knowing that this is a very priority about how things are and we have to stay up to date. Basically the point being is that in this wonderful reading, we have to acknowledge about what's going on through this appealing. It's the way of how it looks like. It's the way of how it seems to be. But from that give and take, this is the way it kind of goes. Where you need to understand about how it seems to be. That's the way it goes. Where you need to have some sympathy and some way of how it goes. Where if you're feeling sad, if you're whimpering, if you're not having a good day, that's how it seems to be. Like for me, for example, sometimes I have a mental health thing. Sometimes I don't want to get into details, but when you're into a mental health crisis, I'll say, you're feeling a little bit like down, like you're having depression, you're not feeling so good, but then you're trying to feel like you're all happy, But the point being is that in this remarkable reading I'm going to tell you all about maybe mental health, if it is, you have to acknowledge that because when you are in, I'm not going to say relationships, but if it is, it's called, there's always a silver lining in every relationship between, how it is, right? Where you're getting along and then you don't get along. It happens for many reasons, And the way of how I can see things, I see it in a different point of view. I see it of how you can do it, how you can, master your own decisions and have your own life support and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. But the point being is that when things go a different way, you have to look at them from a different angle. That's the way it goes. Where, all right, well, I got this, I know what to do. But in that adaptation, you need to understand that, okay, well, I will go with the flow, I will do what I can, I do whatever I want to do, and that's the way it goes, where you have to see your own ethics, your own beliefs, your own way of how it is. This is not like a staggering situation, this is not about what's going on, but when you have a mental health crisis where it affects you, like where you're feeling all positive, great, but when you're all negative, it affects your whole entire system. From your brain as in your mind, from your heart all the way down to your stomach, all the way, and that's what a mental health crisis is, where you need to try to think positive more. You need to try to do what you can, right? Expect about that. It's like being monitored for your food, being monitored about your weight. There are things that you're trying to not, have to conceive with caution. You have to believe that you need to do it in order to, like, you have to gain weight or you're going to be in that staggering, how it is, right? And even about your weight, is like staggering from, from up above and beyond, or, from up above to downward. That's the way it goes. But it fluctuates. That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it happens. But anyway, back to this story here. Excuse me. But that's how it is, right? So this is the way it kind of goes, and this is the way it seems to be. All right. So for this reading, I have the oracle card that says humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Now, humor is basically have a tale where you get yourself all happy, you're making yourself laugh, you can't stop. But the point is that you need to understand that, okay, well, I got this, I know what to do, but then you have to see it, right? If you want to have that ability and you have humor, go with it. When you have humor, you like to, start to laugh and, make yourself happy and whatever. But when you are having humor and you're laughing so much, even if you get a belly laugh, you can't stop laughing. That's the way it goes, right? So if anyone doesn't know what a belly laugh is, it's basically where you're holding in a laugh, but your belly and you are going to start to laugh. You can't stop laughing until your eyes start to cry and you can't stop. That's what happens to me. I would be getting a belly laugh and I can't stop laughing. I can't. So the point being is that in this remarkable reading that I'm going to tell you all, that's the way it seems to be. We need to understand the way it goes, how it is, how we can do it. That's the way it seems to be. And knowing about that is the way of how you can put that into perspective. That's all you can do. But then you have to realize about that, right? You have to go with humor. That's the way it goes, right? Because humor will be good because it basically is going to be like not affecting your mental health, but it will make you all happy. That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it seems to be, okay? So, I know that all the cards were kind of shuffled, and I know that it's going to be very interesting about it, but that's not the only oracle card that I'm going to read you about, but there are more to come up too. So, basically, in this wonderful reading that I'm just going to tell you all, is that this is the way it goes. So I might be talking to a cross-watcher, I might be talking about what's going on, but that's the way it is, right? And that's the way it seems to be. So, this is just a reading, and this is the way it kind of goes, where, okay, well, this is the way it seems to be, I need to do this, but that's the way it kind of goes, right? So, you need to understand that this is the way it seems to be, and you have to go with the flow. So I'm going to look at what's between the left side and the right side. Then we're going to figure out what's going on into the middle. That's the way it kind of goes, and that's the way it seems to be. So it's going to be very interesting, and this is the way it is. So here we go, shall we? Alright, so the way it goes about this is like where you have the 7 Pentacles upright. It does represent your career, it does that. But it does represent Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus as an air sign. But the Knight of Cups, it does represent romance, that's the way it goes, right? Because we are into that state about having romance, do what we want, that's the way it goes. But continuing this situation, we have to go with the flow. We have to go and use it, right? We have to use our humor. That's the way it goes. We have to use that. Humor is based on that, right? That's the way of how it goes. It's based on our own truly, how it is, right? That's the way it goes. So you have to do what you can and say, all right, well, this is the way it goes. But the way it seems to be, we need to understand that how it's going to be that way. So I'm going to clarify the left side first, then I'm going to clarify the right side, and we don't know what's in the middle here. So we have the 10 of Swords is upright because there's conclusions. The Queen of Pentacles reversed, the 7 of Cups reversed. So you're not in a delusion, like you're not having any deja vu moment, you're not. But when you have the 10 of Swords is upright, you have basically conclusions, right? That's the way it goes. When you have conclusions, you do, right? That's the way it seems to be. We're going to clarify the Queen of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. The 9 of Pentacles reversed because you're not feeling any comfort, but then the 10 of Wands is upright, which means that you are having burdens, right? That's the way it goes, right? Because you're having that burdens because, well, that's the way it seems to be. You need to figure out, okay, well, I know what to do, I can do it, that's the way it goes. So you can deal with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Now, on the right side, as this Knight of Cups here, I'm going to clarify that. That's the way it goes, but I'm going to clarify that. So, let's see. So the Hermit is upright, there's Solitude, 5 Pentacles is upright, and the Empress is upright. So, you want to have nourishment. You're feeling like you're going to have money in that situation, or you're looking for money. The Hermit represents solitude, but you're looking for a soulmate. That's the way it goes. And, what I can see is that when you have that, how you can do it. You can deal with a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus in one way or another. Basically for an earth sign, right? So, this is the way it goes between, how it seems to be. Because when you look at a mother here and a mother here, they're both like, the woman, like the feminine, and there's a guy that could be the Hermit here and the guy here, and there's a guy like here with, where he's holding the red roses as the flowers here that you can see. But that's how it seems to be, right? Because we need to understand the way of how it goes, where you think, okay, well, this is the way it is, right? You have to, based on that society of knowing what to do. Now, I'm going to clarify the Ten of Wands. Okay, so I'll do another 3-card reading. The Strength card reversed, Queen of Wands reversed, and the Queen of Cups is upright. So between the Queen of Wands reversed, there's no charisma. Okay, that's the way it goes. The Strength card reversed, you have no strength because you have no strength left, right? Because you could be having low energy, you're not feeling right, whatever it is, right? But then the Queen of Cups does represent Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio as water sign, but it does represent empathy, because there are two sides of a story here. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense, right? That's the way it kind of continues. And, you have to go with the flow. You have to do what you can. Now, on the right side, I'm going to clarify that. So you have the Eight of Swords reversed, there's no anxiety. The Chariot reversed, there's no progress. The High Priestess reversed, you're not using your inner voice. That's the way it goes. The Eight of Pentacles reversed. The Lovers reversed. But the Page of Swords is upright, which means that you have education. When you have education, you think, okay, well, I know what to do, and that's the way it seems to be. Because when you have that education, you know what to do, but then you have that ability from that perspective, right? That's the way it goes, where you have to put things into perspective. That's the way it kind of goes. So you have to remain about what's happening. I'm still going to clarify still. Then we're going to clarify, then I'll put a card in the middle. But anyway, for the time being of the left side, I'm going to clarify that. So the Nine of Swords reversed, there's no drama. 10 of Swords reversed, there's no conclusion. The Six of Pentacles reversed, because you're not having any kindness. No, because you're not. You're not feeling right. You're not feeling like yourself. You're feeling like, oh, why me? That's the way it goes, right? Because you think about the abilities from that right and wrong perspective. That's the way it goes, right? But between the Six of Pentacles, I'm going to clarify that. The Hangman's upright, yeah, because you have restrictions. That's the way it goes. When you have restrictions, you have that ability from, okay, well, this is the way it goes. I should not do this ever again. But that's the way it seems to be. You need to put that into perspective. That's how you can do. That's the way it goes. On the right side of the Page of Swords, I'm going to clarify. The Nine of Wands reversed. The Six of Wands reversed. But the Two of Pentacles is upright. So you could be dealing with another Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus as a earth signs. So you're balancing two things at once, and that's the way it goes. Where you're balancing, that's the way it goes. But then you think, okay, why I'm balancing? Because you're doing one thing, you're in another, right? So you're multitasking, doing two things at once, right? So it's like when you go with the flow, you have to, beyond that point, everything has to be the way it goes. That's the way it seems to be. Because in that aspect, that's the way it seems to be. Where, okay, well, I know what to do, I can do it, I know how I can do it. That's the way it seems to be. Because where you go with the flow, and you do whatever you decide to do, that's the way it is. So, that it is in one way or another. But I'm going to clarify the left side still. The Wheel of Fortune is upright because you're going to have good luck on your side. The Chariot reversed, you're not going to have any progress. The Death got reversed because there's no endings. Magician is upright because you have skill. That's the way it goes, right? So when you have progress, you don't have any progress, but then you have good luck on your side. That's the way it goes. The Magician reversed, or the Magician is upright because you have skill. That's the way it goes, right? You have that ability. You have that, the way of how it goes, right? It's like a give and take situation. I'm giving you the information, you're paying attention to it. That's the way it seems to be. Between these Two of Pentacles, I'm going to clarify that. Devil card is upright, followed by the Judgment is upright, followed by the Hermit is upright. So you're looking for solitude, you're looking for a soulmate, and the Devil is upright. It does represent Capricorn as a, earth sign, but it does represent like where you might be having violence, maybe you're having addictions, or whatever you're going to be doing. The judgment is upright because you're taking action. That's the way it goes, where you think, okay, well, this is the way it seems to be. I don't want to do it, but that's the way it is. That's the way it needs to be, right? So I can understand that because that's the way, you know. So we're gonna figure out who's in the middle now. The sun is upright, so it does represent positivity here. That's a good stretch, because when you're being positive, that's the way it goes. Because you think, okay, now I'm being positive. That's the way it goes, right? So you need to understand that. Okay, well, I know what to do, but then I got this. That's the way it seems to be, and this is like a push and pull situation, So you need to understand that. Okay, well, this is the way it happens. I need to do it. That's the way it seems to be. So, that's the way it is. So what's in? Let me clarify the sun card here. The Tower reverse because you have no transformation. Ace of Cups reverse because there are no new beginnings. The Emperor is upright. There's structure here. That's the way it goes. And the King of Cups is upright because you have basically support. You're having support. You have that dignity in the way of how it goes. You have structure. You have things to be. That's the way it is, right? That's how everything is, because you have to go with the flow. You have to do what you can. You have to do the right thing. That's the way it seems to be. Let me clarify the middle, please. The High Priestess is upright because you're using your inner voice. The Magician reverse, you have no skill. The Emperor reverse, you have no structure. The Fortune reverse, you're having bad luck. Justice is upright because you're telling the truth. The Star is upright, there's inspiration. The Hangman is upright, there's restrictions. That's the way it goes. The Tower reverse, there's no transformation. The Death Card reverse, there's no endings. The Moon reverse, there's no misrotations. The World reverse, there's incompletion. The Hierophant is upright because there's guidance. The Fool is upright, there's change. Yeah, that's the way it goes, where you think, okay, well, I know what to do, but then you have to believe that you can do it in that society, in that aspect of how you can do it. It's the way of how you can do it, where, okay, yes, you're having bad luck, yes, you're not paying attention, but then you have restrictions. And let me show you about this card. You have restrictions because that's the way it goes, where you have restrictions. When you have restrictions, basically, you don't want to do it, but then you have restrictions, right? It's the way of how it goes, where you have restrictions because you don't want to go outside in the darkness, or whatever it is, right? That's just a good example. But you know what I mean? That's the way it seems to be, where you have restrictions. Like, you do what you can, but then you focus on do whatever you want. That's the way it seems to be. It's the way of how you can do it, right? This is how it is, because you have to look at the 5 W's. Is who, what, where, when, why in that situation. That's the way it seems to be, right? So you have that ability from that perspective, because you think, okay, well, this is the way it seems to be, and that's the way it kind of goes, where you think, okay, well, this is an opportunity, this is like a stardom, this is the way it is, because you're using your inner voice, you're using your, how you can do it, right? That's the way it seems to be, where you're looking at it from a different perspective, right? And when you do that, you have to put things into perspective, that's the way it is. So I'm going to go from the middle to the left, and the middle to the right. So the King of Swords is right, there's knowledge. 5 of Cups is right, there's grief. 7 of Cups is right, there's delusion. Yeah. 8 of Wands reversed, there's no speed. The Fool is upright, there's change. Yeah, I just said that earlier. There is change coming up, and that's the way it seems to be, because you think, okay, well, I don't know what to do, but then that's the way you have to do it. That's the way how you can proceed. You have to do what you can and say, all right, well, I do what I want. That's the thing it is, right? That's the way it is, right? So you have to look at it from a different way, because when you have the 7 of Cups separate, it does represent a deja vu moment, right? That's the way it goes, where you have a deja vu moment and you have it, right? Because, you walk into a room and then you go and you walk into the room and then you say, why am I in this room for? That's like a deja vu, okay? Like that's the way it goes. So anyway, I was just about to laugh, but you know what I mean. So you can understand that, right? But now I already clarified the middle. Now we're gonna know what's on the right side. Magicians are right, there's skill. Yeah. 5 wands is right, there's chaos. 9 of swords reversed, there's no trauma. But the 4 of wands is upright, there's speed. Yeah, our 4 of wands represents celebration, That's the way it goes, where you have to have that give and take, where you might have chaos, maybe you're not going along. The 5 of cups does represent grief. There are things that you're trying to do that. It's like how you can maintain that, how you can do that, how you can, because there is a good saying here, and I'll say it, is if there's a will, there's always a way. That's the way it goes, right? It's like one door opens, another one closes. That's the way it goes, right? You have to know that you can do it, but you have to put that into perspective. You have to do what you can and say, all right, well, this is the way it seems to be. Knowing that this is a very fine lining is like, okay, well, I know what to do. I know what I can, because when you have a deja vu moment, okay, and this is why I'm laughing, because when you have a deja vu moment, you're walking into a room and then you're saying to yourself, what am I in this room for? Like, it's funny, okay? Because that's the way it goes. You need to understand about how you can do it, how you can process, because that's the way it seems to be. Knowing that this is just how it goes, but then you have to look at it from a different angle, a different perspective. That's the way it seems to be, right? That's what a deja vu moment is. That's the way it seems to be, right? So that's the way it kind of goes. But we're almost done with this reading. But that's what it seems to be in that perspective. That's the way of how you do it, because you have to go with the flow, right? Now, I'm going to see what the universe is saying between, I'll do the left side, I'll do the right side, but then I'll do the middle, and then I'll do it a different way. Alright, so here we go. So let me figure out what's happening on the left side. So you have the 7 of swords, so right there's deceit, yes. The Queen of Pentacles, so right there's stability. The Empress is upright, there's nourishment, yes. The Wands reversed, there's no speed. Exactly, right? You have no speed, right? When you have no speed, you have basically like low energy. That's the way it goes, where you're feeling like you want to do it, but then it affects your whole entire mental health situation. It basically, it tries to, you're trying to refuse the situation, but then why I'm doing it, why I need this, that's the way it goes. But then you have no speed. That's the way it goes. If you have speed, fine, but then you have no speed. So that's the way it goes, because you have stability and you're feeling deceit. That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it happens, right? It's like you're trying to do what you can, but then why? What's in the middle of this situation? The 5 of swords is alright, yeah, because you're having conflict, right? So you're having conflict because now, you're basically saying to that, it's like, well, I don't want to be getting all angry, I don't want to be upset, but then you do it, right? It's like that's the way it goes, where you need to get along. You need to face your own fears. You have to face your own beliefs in your own ways. It's the way how it goes, because when you think about mental health, you have to think about your whole entire dynamic of your whole entire body, from your brain, as in your mind, and all the way down to your stomach and everything else. It basically how it is, because that's what it seems to be. You have to focus on that, right? That's the way it seems to be. So what's going on the right side? So you have the 5 of wands reversed, there's no chaos. 3 of swords, so right there's heartbreak. King of pentacles, so right there's security. Yeah. The 9 of swords reversed, there's no trauma. But the 6 of swords is so right there's movement. Yes, that's the way it goes, where you have security, but then you're having heartbreak, because that's the way it goes, where you're feeling sad, you're whimpering, you don't know what to do, That's the way it seems to be, right? Because that's the way it goes. Now, I'm going to clarify. Going to clarify the Five of Swords from the middle to the left and in the middle to the right. All right. So you have the Five of Pentacles here. There's no basically there is no insecurity. Like you're not feeling insecurity. The High Priestess upright gives you're using your inner voice. I just said that. The Hangman's upright, there's stillness, yeah. The Knight of Wands is upright, there's immaturity. Ah, yes, I see. The King of Cups reversed, there's no support. The Four of Wands reversed, there's no celebration. The Temperance is upright, there's healing. That's the way it goes, right? So the King of Cups reversed, you have no support. But then earlier you did have support. That's the way it seems to be. Yes, you have the Knight of Wands is upright because that's represent immaturity. You know, that's the way it goes. Where you're not trying to feel like you're being immature, but the way it goes that you are being immature. You know, that's why that this is just a wonderful reading. I'm not talking to all my viewers who are out there about you're being immature. No, I'm just saying about this whole entire reading. That's the way it goes, right? So I'm not trying to offend anybody. No, it's just a wonderful reading. Okay. So that's what it needs to be on the left side. On the right side, the Two of Wands reversed, there's no planning. Judgment is right, there's you're taking action. Five of Cups is right, there's grief, yeah. The Queen of Swords is right there, there's independence, yes. The Ten of Swords is right, there's conclusions. The Six of Pentacles is right because you have kindness. That's the way it goes. Now earlier, when I clarified on the left side, you didn't have it in kindness. Now you have kindness. That's the way it seems to be, right? So you have to do what you can in order to do what you do, because you have to do that. Now between this planning card, we're going to figure out what's happening through there. The Ace of Cups reversed, there's no satisfaction. But the Three of Cups celebrate their celebration. I don't know why you're going to celebrate. Ace of Wands reversed, there's no beginnings. The Ten of Cups reversed, there's no delusion. Oh, okay. The Two of Cups reversed, there's no relationships. Oh, wow. The Strength of reversed, there's no bravery. The Three of Pentacles celebrate there's excitement. Why are you feeling excitement? This is not good. Six of Cups celebrate there's the past. Okay. And the Page of Pentacles celebrate there's prospects. What's up with its prospects here? The Justice is reversed, you're not telling the truth. Oh, so you're lying about something. Ah, I see. Yeah, you're lying because you think that you have mental health, but then you're thinking, no, I don't. Doesn't add up right. But let me clarify that card. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, you're having bad luck. Yeah, it is, because you're having bad luck because you're not telling the truth. No, you're not. But then you have the Ace of Swords, which right, because you have an understanding. Yeah, it makes sense because you're trying to focus on that ability from that right and wrong perspective. You know, you're thinking about the past, you're thinking about how things are, you're not telling the truth. That's the way it goes, where you need to think about, if you're having no bravery, what's the point? You know, that's the way it seems to be, where you have to think things through in order to do that. It's the way it happens, right? It's the way of how this whole entire reading does make sense. But then, you know, you have to go with the flow. You have to do what you can, you know. That's the way it seems to be. So, we're almost done with this reading. I just said that earlier, but we're almost done. So, let me try to do one more. Tell me something what's happening on the right side. Page of Cups here is you're not having loyalty. Magician of right is because you're having skill. The Wands reverse you're having no speed. Exactly. So basically on the left side and on the right side you have no speed. Interesting. What's up between this Eight of Wands here? Nine of Cups is right. Yeah, there's fulfillment. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah, it's very interesting. What's happening on the left side, please? Nine of Swords reversed, there's no drama. Okay. For one story, there's celebration. The Moon reversed, there's no misrotations. The Knight of Wands reversed. Okay, so the Knight of Wands reversed, there's no basic immaturity. You're not being immature. Knight of Pentacles reversed, okay. But then the Three of Wands is upright. So you want communication. Oh, so you're basically saying to me that you want communication because that's what you want. But then they are feeling hurt, having all these things, and they say, oh, okay, forget this. What's in the middle of it? The Ten of Pentacles is upright because there's money involved. Yeah, okay, that's why. Okay, so they are thinking about the past, they're thinking about things, but then they're thinking about money. Interesting. Opposite between this Ten of Pentacles. The King of Wands reversed. The Temperance reversed. So there's no healing. No. But then the Two of Pentacles is upright because they're balancing two things at once. Does it add up right? Does it seem to be very interesting about it? Let me clarify the Two of Pentacles, please. The Six of Swords upright, there's movement. Six of Cups reversed, there's no the past. But the Devil is upright, there's obsession, addictions. Okay, yeah, because you're fighting over money. You're fighting that you're not getting what you want. It seems to be very interesting. Yeah, it does. Because you're thinking that, okay, well, why me? Why me? But it doesn't even think about that. So let me figure out who's who. So who's on the left? Who's in the middle? Who's on the right? And I know about there's something that was happening between the middle and whoever this. So I'm going to reveal these cards to you. That's the way it goes. So here we go. First one is the Ten of Fire. Too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance. Stress-related health concerns. Yeah, that's the way it goes. You're feeling stressed out. You're not getting along. That's the way it goes, right? That's the way it happens. So you could be dealing with in Leo, Aries, Sagittarius as a fire sign. Okay, what's between the Queen of Waters? Tender-hearted and pathetic, patient, loving. Relationship developed to a new level. Trust your intuition, care for yourself and others. Okay, so basically you're trying to be a wonderful, helping person. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe you're acting to be like how you can do it. But then that's the way it goes, right? So you would deal with in Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay. Alright. Next one. Nine of Air. Expecting the worst. Self-fulfilling prophecies. Sleepless nights. Okay, so you're waiting to get your money back, or you're trying to do what you can, but then it's like, well, this is the way it seems to be. This is intense. It could be intense, but that's the way it seems to be. That's the way of how it goes, right? Okay, so we can deal with in our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius as air signs. And the last one, Ace of Earth, is the inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. Okay, that's the way it goes, where you're trying to think about having a contract or something, because that's what it seems to be. Interesting. So you could be dealing with the Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus as earth signs. Okay, now I understand that. Now, what we know about who's the elements, I'm trying to figure out who's who. So maybe try to figure out about that one, that, and that. Right, so let's see. And between the Ten of Fire and the Queen of Water, let's see. The high lady of love and compassion, reference, kindness, consideration. Okay, so she's gonna be having kindness. Okay, that's the way it goes. So she wants kindness, she wants respect, she wants things to be happening. So she could be having fire signs and water signs in her chart. Okay, that's the way it goes. Okay. Who's in the middle? The Fire Prince. Optimism, Aggression. Okay, that's how it is. So it could be representing Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius because of what's happening beyond this point. Okay, I get it. That's the way it happens. Alright. And lastly, on the right side, we have the chess queen. Trust in strategizing. Yeah, it is. Because you're using your own strategy. You're using your own ability from having having trust and having things that you need to look for. And that's the way it goes. Where you have to think, okay, well, I know what to do, but that's the way it goes. Yeah, that's the way it seems to be. Yeah, I get it. So, you know, before I let you all go, try to pay attention about this whole entire significant reading. If it happens to you, that's the way it goes because we need to believe that we need to have our own beliefs and we have to do what we can. So, that's the way it seems to be, and we need to understand about what's going on through this staggering situation. But that's the way it goes. You have to believe it, and you have to do what you can. So, I hope you all like this video. Please give it a like, please give it a comment, and enjoy because the way of how this is, that's the way it seems to be. But thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and bye for now. Really.